Welcome to Money First CEO, the podcast for business owners ready to run their business like a boss and make their money work smarter, not harder. I'm Harmon Johnston, bookkeeper, profit first professional, business coach, and mum of two from Sydney, Australia. I've built a thriving business by mastering money habits and systems that create real freedom. This show will help you take control of your finances so you can build a business and life that truly works for you. Every episode delivers one powerful takeaway you can action right away for more clarity, confidence, and cash. And from time to time, I'll be joined by special guests, fellow entrepreneurs, experts, and real business owners, sharing their money wins, lessons, and insights to inspire your next move. Because when you put money first, you unlock the options and freedom you deserve. So hit follow, grab your coffee, and let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to the Money First CEO, where we believe if you put your money first, the rest will follow. I'm Harmon Johnston, and today we're cutting through the noise. What's stopping you and clarifying the profit first doubts? So I've been involved with Profit First for over 3 years and a certified professional for over 2 years now. And I've worked with lots of different business owners. But one thing I come across when I am speaking, especially to people in person at networking events or conferences, is, it all sounds too hard. Can you simplify it for me? Can you tell me exactly what to do? And it just makes me think, it's not profit first that's hard. It's just the change. We get used to doing things a certain way. And if you feel there's a problem, which is why you have asked me that question, then it sounds like you need to make that change. And change is hard, and a lot of the times business owners, they just want someone to tell you exactly what to do because we don't have the time. We're too caught up. We're doing everything, wearing multiple hats. So when it comes to cash, the only time we really pay attention is when we have to look at the bank account and it's not ideal. And you think, there has to be a better system. What am I doing wrong? And, what do I need to do? So you feel that maybe someone coming into your business and telling you exactly what to do will fix the problem. But all I say is there's a system. It's tried and tested. It works. And you have to implement it. You either implement it yourself or you get someone like myself or another profit first professional to walk you through. And if you don't do it, then yes, it can be overwhelming. It might not work, but then you can always reach out and ask the question. We have a really good network or a support group, and I'm part of lots of memberships as well, where I'm quite happy to answer any of the questions. But I just thought it might be a good opportunity to speak about some of these questions that I come across and how I answer them to help you understand, as to where you're getting stuck. So, we all hear about profit first too hard, or it won't work for my business, or am I too small? What if I run out of cash? What happens then? But a lot of the times I feel that a lot of these questions are negative. What if it does work? And what if it's really easy? I'm a very positive person and I try and look at the positive side of everything. So that would be the first thing. If you're getting overwhelmed or confused, then think, okay, once I break through all that, what if it really works and it changes the way I do my business? So that's how I'd like you to approach this, with an open mind. So, a lot of times people think it's complicated, they fear running out of money, they think their business is too small, or they worry about the bank fees by having multiple bank accounts, or they dread the income fluctuation, busy months come slow months. What happens then? But here's the truth. Delaying profit first keeps you stuck because you have no safety net, no clear plan, no profit. So how do we fix it? So I'm going to address 5 objections that I come across and the simple fixes and why it's scary. So the first one, it's too complicated, too many bank accounts, too many steps. I don't know what to do. Well, yes, Mark does talk about creating the 5 core bank accounts. But if it's all too much, how about you start with just 1 or 2? Create a profit account and an OPEX. Start with that and see how that works. And then once you're into the rhythm, you start to build that muscle about doing the distributions and understanding how it all works, then you can bring in additional accounts. So that's how I tell people. And usually when it's a small business, it's very easy. when there's a big business, it could be service business, manufacturing, e-commerce, then ideally you will need multiple accounts. But in order for you to ease into the process, I would say don't start with 5, start with 2. The other objection I come across is I'll run out of money, or the bills might go unpaid if I haven't got enough money in the operating expenses. Well, do 2 transfers per month and keep a buffer. And what I say to some of my clients, or what I did when I started Profit First, is usually people implement or really start paying attention to Profit First when times are tough. Cash is tight and you think, I can't deal with this. I need a system. And you go and you pay someone or you set up the system and then it doesn't work. It's because you didn't have the buffers. So what I did in my business, and I suggest to some of my business clients that are in that position, is if ideal or if it's possible, try and give a business loan to the business for a sum that will give you buffers in all the accounts. And that way, when you start doing Profit First, you'll have money and you'll start to see it working straight away. And once it starts working straight away, you can pay yourself that money back. In most cases, I've seen it within 3 to 6 months, you've paid that money back. But when you start with no cash, yes, you will have bills unpaid because you don't have enough buffers in the bank accounts to pay. So if possible, try and put some money into the business as a loan. So all your accounts as buffers, and then start doing Profit First percentages. If not, then call me and we'll find out another way. What about the objection where business owners think they're too small or they don't have enough revenue to even bother implementing Profit First? Well, I don't think there's any business big or small. It's about systemizing a process so you don't have to think, and making it easy. Easy for you to follow, easy for your team to follow. So if you need to walk away from the business, anyone can come in and look at the bank accounts and know what they're for. And for you as well. If you're paying BAS, you know exactly which bank account to pay the BAS from. If you need to take some money at the account, you know which accounts. It's the owner's pay or profit accounts that I'm allowed to touch. So, I don't think it matters if your business is too large or too small. It can work for all sizes. Another one I see is bank fees. 5 bank accounts, 5 sets of bank fees. Extra accounts bring extra charges. Well, use banks that don't have bank fees. And there's so many out there in Australia, and I'm sure it's the same overseas as well. There's lots of banks that offer no-fee bank accounts, especially online. If you don't need a card, because a lot of these accounts you'll transfer money across anyway. You don't need a physical card. If anything, you need a card is for the OPEX account. Then the rest can be online saver accounts, which is what I do. And while the money's sitting there, I earn some interest, which is even better. Now, the last objection is my income fluctuates. Irregular sales make fixed percentages scary. But that's how Profit First and why Profit First is something that would really transform the way you do your business. So if you're using the percentages in the busy months, that's when you're going to create the buffers. So when the slow months come, you've got the extra cash there to use. And it just takes away that scary thought. A lot of my building clients, come January, they are pretty much drained or draining all their, some of their owners' pay or OPEX accounts because there's no revenue coming in, teams on leave. So while they're really busy, especially November, December leading into Christmas, everyone wants all their last-minute building works done. You build a buffer. So come January, you use it up without the stress. So client thought Profit First meant juggling 10 bank accounts. We cut it to 2, set up automatic weekly transfer, and within 2 weeks, she had real profit. That clarity changed everything. So, with a profit, you can start at 2% and slowly build it up. And in 6 months, you could be paying yourself, putting aside 8% just by tweaking the percentages every time you do a transfer. So some of the other questions that I come across is, especially with women, I don't know why we feel that we have to do this, but a female client said to me, how do I explain it to my partner? And the feminist Harmon was like, well, first of all, why do you need to explain to your partner? Is he your business partner or is he your life partner? And she goes, just my life partner, and but I like to talk business. And I said, okay. Because trust me, I've tried to have that conversation with my husband and he is not interested. He goes, I don't know, I don't care. So I said, look, maybe just do a simple pie chart, before. There's one pot with all the money, and then you have clear buckets. Visuals always make it click with people when they see, oh, okay, so you're putting money into different buckets to use. And another question I get is, what if I miss my allocation 1 month? No sweat. Do it now. If you missed to do it last week, do it now. Or if you can wait till next allocation day, we'll do it then. It's very flexible. It's not rigid. Like, I'm not going to come and say, hey, you didn't do it, you're in trouble. Just do it whenever you can. So what is your challenge for this week or your takeaway? So if you haven't done this already, I would suggest to open a profit account and put 1%. And just as a bit of a challenge, up it to 2% next month and 3%, 4%. And when it gets to 10%, let me know. I'd love to know. And trust me, before you know it, you will be putting aside 10%. And that is that 10% that you never had or you could never identify. And now it's profit, it's sitting there. So that's it for today's episode. Until next time, put your money first and the rest will follow. Thanks for hanging out with me on Money First CEO. If you got value from this episode, hit subscribe, drop a 5-star review, and share it with someone who's building their business too. All the goodies are in the show notes, and you can find me on socials, more tips and tools to help you. Until next time, keep putting money first, and the rest will follow.